Hey guys, Roger here from the Gurus of Gaming podcast. Uh, First of all, I just want to make the announcement that episode one of the Gurus of Gaming podcast is coming this week. It will be available on iTunes. It's going to be on YouTube as well. So be on the lookout for that. Really excited to get that content out to you guys. We'll also put point 5 on iTunes as well, and we'll be getting episode 2 out to you very shortly. We're recording weekly, so content should be very regular between now. I'm sorry, my cat is he just like looked over the webcam. We're very lucky we didn't get him in the shot because he's in fact I think he's coming away. So anyways, as I was saying before, Coda stepped on the keyboard and kind of screwed up all my notes. We're recording every week, so we're going to be getting new episodes out to you frequently. You should get an episode every week. We're in the studio a lot. I'm spending a lot of my free time editing, so be on the lookout for that. But the reason I'm on here today is I want to talk about the Nintendo Direct that we just got over this past weekend. It was Thursday evening. I did not get to watch that live because, as many of you know, I was in a car accident last week, and I spent Thursday evening getting a new vehicle. So I ended up watching a little bit of it in the dealership with sound on really low, but I didn't get to actually watch the full Direct until Friday evening. So let's start off by talking about the 3DS announcements. Let's get those out of the way. And I'm going to kind of go through these in order of significance, in my opinion. So I'm going to start with the least exciting for me, and that's Yokai Watch Blasters. I don't have any experience with the Yokai Watch series. It's really not something I'm interested in the slightest. So that's going to be something I'm personally going to skip out on. But pretty much, if you are a fan of the Yokai Watch series, I believe this is available now. And there's a software update coming to that game, which will add new missions, new areas coming out here in a couple weeks on the 27th of September. So if you're a Yokai Watch fan, hey, great, you've got something you can partake in right now, something to play. Otherwise, I guess not. Next, the other three games are all three games that, hey, I'm interested in. These are pretty good releases for Nintendo fans like myself. So these are really in no particular order. I'm going to start with the new announcement that we didn't know about on the 3DS, and that is for Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn, which is going to be coming in 2019 to the 3DS. So that's a Wii game originally, which was Kirby's Epic Yarn, and they're redoing it for the 3DS. So they've got everything from the original Wii version, and they're going to add new features. I understand you're going to be able to craft bigger yarn balls. You're going to be able to play as different characters, including King Dedede and Meta Knight. And hey, if you haven't played Kirby's Epic Yarn, this is probably a good opportunity to do so. It's a fun game. It's definitely different as far as the Kirby series is concerned, which really, let's be honest here, that's what that series needed. It needed the breath of fresh air, and that's the perfect opportunity to get that. Next up, we have Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey. So, of course, we've known about the Bowser's Inside Story remake for quite a while now. They announced that, I believe, back at E3. It may have been a little sooner than that. I may be wrong there. But I'm kind of wondering, and this is along the lines of the Pokemon Let's Go game that they're releasing on Switch soon. Not quite sure why this remake needs to exist, especially on the 3DS, because this is a game that you can play right now on the 3DS. If you have the original DS cartridge for Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, you can very much play that right now. It's available. You can go to GameStop. You can buy it used for $20 and play it. But nevertheless, they're giving the game a remake. Some enhanced graphics, some new gameplay elements. That new side story. It's got Bowser Jr. and the Koopa Kids. That being said, I'm a Mario and Luigi fan, but I didn't play the Superstar Saga remake. I don't know that I'm going to play this either, but we'll see. That's coming January 11th. And finally, on the 3DS, the last of the news for that is for the upcoming Luigi's Mansion release on the 3DS. And Coda has to talk about Luigi's Mansion because he's a butthole. So Luigi's Mansion on 3DS, that is it's a remake of the original GameCube game, and it's going to feature amiibo support, and it's going to help find where boos are hiding out. It's going to heal Luigi. There'll be some other bonuses. And there's also a multiplayer mode now in Luigi's Mansion, which is kind of cool. But you know what would be even cooler? Is if you could play that multiplayer mode, on the Switch. But you can't, because this game's on the 3DS, when by all means, it should be on the Switch. So some of the smaller announcements. Speaking of the Switch, we're going to transition over into what we learned about the Nintendo Switch during this Direct. And I'm going to start with some of the smaller announcements. Coda. God. Come here. Come over here. See if he wants to meet everybody. It's Coda. He just knocked an amiibo on the floor. He loves gaming. AKA he loves to distract me while I'm gaming, and apparently he's going to distract me on the stream. As I was saying, if I put him in the thumbnail, I might have gotten more views. So anyways, Lego DC Supervillains, we'll start with that. That's coming October 16th. It's a multi-platform game. We already knew about this. It's a Lego game, but it's set in the DC universe. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. FIFA 19, that's going to launch on the Switch September 28th. Yeah, shut up. And one of his new favorite spots is right there on my shoulder. He just he likes sitting up there for God knows what reason. This just started like a week ago. Just Dance 2019 is coming in October 23rd. Oh boy. Just to point out, that does have a Wii version coming. Still coming to the Wii. NBA 2K Playgrounds 2 is coming this fall. It's a sequel to NBA Playground, but I guarantee it's not going to be as good as NBA Jam was on the Super Nintendo. You suck. This is no longer the Switch recap. It is the My Cat is an Asshole video. NBA 2K19 is coming to Switch. In fact, I believe that is available now. So if you're a basketball fan and you don't have a PS4 or an Xbox One, you can still get your NBA fill. Warframe, which is a really popular MMO game. It's like a co-op ninja action game, sci-fi. That's been available on the PS4 and I believe Xbox One and Steam for quite a while now. That's coming to Nintendo Switch. We finally have a date for that. That's going to be launching on November 20th. And the last of the smaller announcements, at least for right now, the kind of the quick hitters they went over. Team Sonic Racing is coming this winter. I assume it's in 2018. Personally, I don't have a lot of interest in the game. However, let's hope it's as good as Sonic and Sega's All-Star Racing, which was on the PS3 and Xbox 360, because that game was great. And I'd love to have a sequel to those. That was a lot of fun. I know we got transformed, but it wasn't as good. So some of the bigger game stories. Starlink Battle for Atlas is coming October 16th. That is a toys to life spaceship kind of shooter. And on the Switch version, you're going to be able to play as Star Fox, have exclusive Star Fox missions, and take on Starwolf, who even appeared in the trailer. And I got to tell you, I was really impressed with the Starlink trailer they showed in the Nintendo Direct. This isn't a game that I'd have any interest in. But I see the trailer and I see Wolf. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. They've done a good job of interpreting that over and showing it off for the Switch. Next up, we have two things for RPG fans. The World Ends With You Final Remix coming October 12th, and also Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I believe the subtitle for that is Torna the Golden Country. That is available. You can pre-order that today. Comes out on the 21st of September. And if you already have the season pass for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, you can play that right now. So, Xenoblade fans, that's already there for you. I don't have the season pass for Xenoblade. I have Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but to be honest, I only played about 2 hours, maybe 3 hours of the game. Never really got that into it. As far as The World Ends With You is concerned, super, super popular game. I never played it personally. It was on the DS, and I missed it the first time around. Maybe something I'll grab down the line, but check that out if you're an RPG fan. Speaking of RPGs, great action RPGs coming to Switch on November 2nd. That is Diablo 3 the Eternal Collection. Now, I'm going to assume that a lot of us have probably played this game. I played a lot of Diablo 3 on the PS4. I played a lot of Diablo 3 on the PC. I'm currently being stabbed in the back by cat claws. And I'm looking forward to the Switch version just for the fact that it's going to give you an opportunity to play the title on the go. This is going to have the Necromancer expansion, so it's a full game. You get a cosmetic set to let you play as what looks like Ganondorf in the game, and there is amiibo compatibility, but it hasn't. I don't believe they've really detailed that so much. So I'm interested in seeing what else they're going to do with amiibos. I understand you could use any amiibo, period, in the game. So, oh god. The cat just fell off my back and scraped the whole way down. You're a jerk. He doesn't even care. He doesn't care. I'm probably bleeding. He doesn't care. Splatoon 2 is getting a version 4 update, so Splatoon fans, you have something to celebrate here. You got some new weapons. Looks like there's some new stages for Splatfest that's coming in this update. New songs and more weapon sets with lots of cool new stuff. So I like that they're continuing to always update Splatoon 2 and always add new things because that to me is their biggest online platform right now, in my opinion. They can keep going back to. I hate you. So they're going to keep going back to and keep updating and keep adding some new content too. One of the things I was really excited about seeing on the Direct is Mega Man 11. And that comes out, of course, on October 2nd. The demo's out now. In episode 2 of Gurus of Gaming, I do talk about the demo, but obviously that's not hit your ears yet. So let me just say, I love the demo. I played through it on the normal and easy difficulties, both. Which the main difference there is just damage output, damage intake, and the number of lives you're getting. I liked the boss fight because I liked how different it was from boss fights in the older Mega Man titles, just because there's a lot more to it. So it felt a lot more complex. And I liked that. It's a nice change of pace for Mega Man games. So looking forward to getting the full version of Mega Man 11. I'll definitely be picking that up on the Switch on launch date. No question. That's going to be my console choice for that game. City Skylines. City building game. It's been on Xbox One and PS4 for a little while now. Been on PC for years. Now you have it on the Nintendo Switch. And it's got a couple of I think it's the winter expansion, and there's another expansion that's nighttime expansion that's going to be included in the Switch version of this title. Nice hard, guys. Anyways, that's available now on the eShop. I don't know the price on that. I'm guessing it's probably $39.99, maybe $59.99. More exciting to me, however, is a different PC game they're bringing over to Switch, and that's Civilization 6 on the November 16th. And I'll be completely honest, I don't have a lot of experience playing the Civilization 6, but I'll tell you, I put a lot of hours into Civilization 3, into Civilization 4, into Civilization 5. And when I bought my new computer, one of the first games I got was Civilization 6, but I was really distracted by playing the E series. And I really just plowed through all those games and never really got around to playing 6. But I have it on PC. It's something I'd be interested in on the Switch. I don't know if I'm going to grab it there or not. But I do understand it's got a 4-player multiplayer mode, which I don't know if that's going to be online or if that's offline, but it's interesting. Speaking of online, their online service is launching next week, and one of the games they're promoting with this is the Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle, which has got Final Fight, Captain Commando. The recognizable one to me is Knights of the Round, which I remember having played when I was younger, and that's got 4-player local and online play. It's only $20, so that's a really good deal. Cool bundle with some really cool looking games. Gotta love old-fashioned beat 'em ups like that, and it's the right price. Get it digitally. It's available for pre-order on the eShop, and I think that the game actually launches on September 18th. I may be wrong on that. Daemon X Machina is a new first-party title. It looks like it's a mech game, which that's not something that's really in my wheelhouse as far as games I'd be interested in, but it's something that's definitely different on Nintendo's end, and I think it will be it's cool for a lot of Nintendo fans that are in that kind of thing. So I think action mech game, maybe along the Armored Core lines, like Zone of the Enders. I don't know. I may be pretty off kilter with that, but I guess we'll see. It's not something I plan on picking up, but maybe it'll pique my interest a little later as we get closer to launch. But for right now, 2019, it's not for me. There are several tabletop games, however, coming to the Nintendo Switch. Carcassonne, the Lord of the Rings living card game, Pandemic, Munchkin, Settlers of Catan, all coming to Switch starting in December. Those aren't games I don't have experience with any of those games. I've always had a lot of friends who play Settlers of Catan say, "Hey, this game's awesome." And I've heard great things about Munchkin, and I've heard great things about Pandemic, and I've heard of Carcassonne, and that's I don't know much about these, but if there's online play, maybe it's something I might look into checking out, at least just a little bit, maybe. Katamari Damacy Reroll. It's a remake of the original, or rather, maybe an HD remaster of the original Katamari Damacy, which is on PS2. That is a very unique, very, very strange game. Not to say that it's not fun, because it is. It's just very strange. That's coming on November 30th. And I think that's when it comes to the eShop, and there's going to be a physical version that's going to release later. So check that out. If you've never played Katamari Damacy or a Katamari game, it's probably going to at least be worth looking into and checking out, see if it's for you. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. So this week, when we recorded episode 2, we actually spent a decent amount of time talking about these games. So basically, all I'm going to go into here is it's launched November 16th. I wasn't sold on Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee prior to this Nintendo Direct. And to be completely honest with you, the only thing I'm sold on about it now is that I'm still not buying it. So really not for me. Maybe when they release the new mainline series game in 2019, might be something I'd like to pick up. But this really isn't something I'm interested in. Super Mario Party. That's a game, however, that I am in on, because I know that's something that my wife will sit down and play with me. You can play it online. I know some buddies of mine and I'm sure we're going to play it online together with our wives. Seems really cool. There's 80 brand new mini games. Nothing is repeated from the old games. Of course, it's got the single player challenge road. And you got the mini game online gauntlet that you can play through. They call it a Mario-thon. It's a marathon of mini games. Nice little pun they got there for Mario. 4 players. You have to play with the Joy-Con. There's no Pro Controller support, which that's a little disappointing. But I understand and I see what they're going with the Joy-Cons and wanting to push that. Game Freak, who I assumed was busy developing their 2019 Pokemon game, announced a game that's just for now called Town. And it looks to me like basically you just live in a town and you go around your town, but you're trying to fight off invading monsters. I'm interested in seeing more of this, but by no means is it anything that I'm absolutely in on buying right now. So maybe something I'll look into later. Next up, we have New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Now, when you listen to episode 1 of our podcast, which was recorded before the originally intended date for the Nintendo Direct, Michael and we both made some predictions. And one of our predictions was that New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe was going to launch on the Switch and was going to be taking advantage of the Nintendo Switch Online. So, do you have to bathe on camera? You have no class. At least he's not looking at his butt. We don't know anything about the online. I can see him on my screen. We don't know anything about the online play this yet, but hey, at least I called on the fact that it's coming. There's going to be some new playable characters and new gameplay modes, which is really cool. And hey, they're going to include new Super Luigi U as well, which I didn't get to play, but very little of, and it was really hard, so I didn't play very much of it. Looking forward to that. And before we move on to Nintendo Switch Online and our bigger announcements, I just wanted to jump over to Yoshi's Crafted World, which is the upcoming Yoshi game, which officially got its new title during the Nintendo Direct. That game looks really cool. I'm a fan of the Yoshi games. There's not a single one that I haven't played. I haven't beat them all, but I've been playing these since Yoshi's Island came out when I was a kid. So I'm looking forward to getting into that when it comes out this spring. Nintendo Switch Online is launching, of course, next week. In fact, it is launching, I believe, Tuesday. Either Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know. It's Tuesday, the 18th. So, of course, they announced we're going to have it's going to support online gameplay, so you'll be able to play your Switch games online. With the exception being Fortnite is not going to require Nintendo Switch Online subscription. However, games like Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, ARMS, Mario Tennis, which, by the way, is also getting an update that was announced in the Nintendo Direct with Shy Guy and Paratroopa as playable characters. Those are going to require Nintendo Switch Online service. You have 3 price tiers. You can get $3.99 a month, $7.99 for 3 months, or $20 for a year. It's going to have 20 NES games at launch that you can just download and play, and they support online play. And they're going to be adding games to that NES library all the time. It's going to feature cloud saves for what I'm assuming is most titles. But as we've previously heard, not all titles, which get with the program to know it's 2019, you got to do better than this. So that's kind of a rundown of the online service. So the bigger announcements that we got, I'm going to start off here with the Nintendo Switch Super Mario or Super Smash Bros. Ultimate bundle. So it has a really cool Nintendo Switch dock, which has characters from Super Mario 64, or sorry, Super Smash Bros. The original on Nintendo 64, featured on the front of the dock, which is awesome. It's got a set of Joy-Cons that has the Super Smash Bros. Like the cross logo, and it's going to have a download code for the game. So that's going to come out November 2nd. It's going to be $359.99. And the download code, of course, you can't use until the game launches on December 7th. But, if you don't have a Switch and you're wanting one for Smash, good opportunity to pick one up. Let's see. 4 more announcements. On the topic of Smash, Isabelle from Animal Crossing was announced as a playable character for Smash. And from what I've kind of picked up on from the trailer, she is not an Echo Fighter. She is her own character, which is rather surprising. I fully expected to see Isabelle in Smash Brothers. However, I did not expect her as a regular character. I thought for sure we're going to see her as an Echo for Villager. But either way, very welcome addition. I don't know that I'll be using her. But then again, going into Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and for 3DS, I didn't think I was going to use Villager. And Villager ended up being one of the characters I used most. So pretty excited about that. I'll definitely try her out for sure, if nothing else. Next, we have a blowout of Final Fantasy games. Of course, we knew about Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles HD, which is coming in 2019, and we knew about Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition, which is available now. But they also announced some other Final Fantasy games coming to Switch. We have World of Final Fantasy Maxima, which is an upgraded version of World of Final Fantasy, which has been available on PS4 and Xbox One since 2016. There's an upgraded version launching on the Switch on November 6th. Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon is getting a Switch title that's going to launch this winter. And coming out next year, we're going to get some of the main line entries in the Final Fantasy series. Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy IX, Final Fantasy X and X-2, and Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age, are all coming to Switch in 2019. That is awesome. So I'm a big Final Fantasy fan, and it's really cool to see these games coming out on the Switch, especially out of that particular group. I've been wanting to play 9 again. It's been almost 20 years since I played Final Fantasy 9. I haven't played it since it came out. So I definitely am looking forward to the chance to get to play through that again. The only question here is, where's Final Fantasy 8? It just seems really strange to me they skip right over that. I can understand not releasing 11 or 14 because of the online titles. And we're not going to talk about Final Fantasy 13 here because we know that's the black sheep of the series. Well, except for maybe Final Fantasy 2. I know 13 has its fans, but that trilogy doesn't have a lot of fans. I figure maybe it's coming a little later, but not for right now. The 2 biggest announcements are 2 new Switch games coming out in 2019. And the first was actually they opened up the Direct with the first of these. And so the Direct opens up with what I assumed was Luigi's Mansion on 3DS. I thought, okay, so we're open for 3DS games. And wow, this looks really nice for a 3DS game. Like surprisingly looked good for a 3DS game. And I couldn't believe how well they'd done with the graphics in that system. And then they switched over to the title card and said Luigi's Mansion 3, the Switch. I'm really excited about this. I'm a big fan of the original Luigi's Mansion. Dark Moon was all right on the 3DS, but it never captured the spirit of the original, no pun intended, the spirit of the original 3DS or original GameCube title of Luigi's Mansion. And I kind of feel like Sakurai in that Smash Bros. Direct we had in August was kind of throwing hints our way that we were getting this announcement by featuring Luigi and the Poltergeist in the Simon Belmont announcement for Smash. Finally, this was one of Michael's predictions that we talked about in episode 1 of the Gurus of Gaming podcast, and this is very much overdue because there wasn't a title on the Wii U. Animal Crossing on Nintendo Switch. That's probably the first game, the original Animal Crossing, the one on the, not the original, but the one on the 3DS, New Leaf. I remember I got my wife pretty into that game. She liked it a lot. I played it a good bit, and that's going to be coming in 2019. So I'm looking forward to getting more information to talk about that later. And that is the September 2018 Nintendo Direct. Again, be on the lookout. We're going to have our episode 1/2 and episode 1 coming to iTunes in the next few days. That is finally launching. And I apologize for the delays on that. I had an accident, and it just kind of paused my final edit on that episode for a couple of days. And then shortly after, you should also be seeing. This looks so ridiculous to me sitting here talking about video games with my cat literally sitting on my neck taking a bath. Shortly after that, you should be seeing episode 2 coming out within a week as well. And we'll be back in the studio this Wednesday, as always, to record episode 3. And should be a fun episode. So until then, check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/Gurus of Gaming. Send us some support. That way I can get some better lighting and not look blurry when I'm doing these vlogs with you guys to talk about Nintendo games. See you next time.